My name is Fatima Rasheed. I am a PhD student at the program of Biochemistry and Molecular Biology at the University of Miami School of Medicine under the mentorship of Professor Sophia George, PhD, Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center. My work focuses on the genomics of rare ovarian cancers amongst women of African ancestry. So we all know that ovarian cancer has remained one of the most lethal gynecological malignancy, contributing immensely to the cancer-related mortality among women, particularly disproportionately affecting our Black community in Africa, usually the West African diaspora. The interest of my work is to leverage this abundance of data that we have in Africa to be able to understand the biology of these tumors, because these cancers have been grossly understudied, particularly in terms of genomics. And our women, that is where our women are then at the prime of their lives, when they're contributing immensely to their family, to their society, to their community. So I think we really need to understand these tumors, because when you say rare ovarian cancers, they aren't really rare in Africa. Among the global statistics, they account for less than 10% of all ovarian cancers, that is, those that we call the non-epithelial, the ones that I'm interested in studying. But in Africa, particularly where I practice as an OBGYN in Nigeria, they account for up to 50%, 60% of those cancers. And you see a woman dying because why? They have unique biology, unique histogenesis. They affect women at the younger age group. So, and these cancers are highly aggressive, not resistant to chemotherapy. So we need to understand the biology of this so that we can be able to help our women there. Our beautiful women are dying young there. Because what really sparked me to study, leave the clinical field and come back and be part of the genomic field, and then be part of the world of Sophia George, and then understand the genomic, the oncogenomics of these cancers, and then be able to see what I can give back to my women when I go back to Nigeria. I started in spring in 2025. I was able to get my summer research fellowship grant from the Global Black Studies in summer, and that changed the whole perspective of my work, because initially I planned to only take my data from Katsina, which is a state in the northern part of my country. Receiving the Global Black Studies grant enabled me to expand it to a national study where I can have a more representative data, because Nigeria is a house to more than 250 ethnic groups. So with that, I was able to have a more diverse research collaboration across the northern part of the state, that is in Katsina, the eastern part of the state, the central part, the southwest, the south, and also the south, the south. So that kind of give me a better perspective and better capture, and be able to integrate it with the ethnic diversity we have, and that will give me a better understanding of the biology and the unique histogenesis of the cancer. So I think the Global Black Studies grant has really done well for this. Thank you for asking this, because coming to Miami, in fact, has changed my whole perspective, the way I think everything about life, because Miami is a house to not just Africans, to not just the Miami people. There are Caribbeans, there are Africans, there are a combined world of its own here. So, and coming here, I realized that my own voice has been accepted as part of the voice of Miami, because being here as a Black woman from the northern part of Nigeria, where I'm unheard of, but then coming here, being accepted, being given a grant by the Global Black Studies, makes me feel like I'm part of the whole new environment. Also, I feel like a better person, because working at the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, where I see the global diversity, I think attending conferences that I attend, seminars, conferences, and I have seen my research as part of a broader conversation. I think coming here has really shifted the way I view my research. Initially seeing it as a local thing, like interest, but now making it seen as a global perspective, because one of my aims in my study is to now see how we're going to compare our data with the Black, West African born Blacks, Caribbean born Blacks, US born Blacks, and also the US born one, to see if there are differences in the genomics and see where we can be able to see where are our women having more aggressive disease, where are women coming off with resistance. So without coming to me, I wouldn't have been able to be able to compare this data, because I wouldn't have access to data that we're able to compare these results and see the differences in the genomic alterations that we have among the blacks and also the whites, and be able to pick those uniqueness that we have among the black women. But I'm passionate about increasing the representation of black women in biomedical research, as I've said. My main thing is that I want to be like a mentor, like mentoring, the younger ones in also this field, because the field of genomics is something that we lack in Nigeria, I'm sure in Africa, because we really have all these laboratories and also advancement that we have here. So one thing is that it has not just the medical, but also have like psychological effect, social effect on the women. I hope this data will be able to lead in getting targeted therapy for these cancers. So I think people can follow up with publications from our research group, particularly from the Judge Lab, the Oncogenomic, and also from Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, because we usually present new findings, particularly during conferences, seminars, and also from publications from Nature and Cell. And then, like you said, maybe you will also open up maybe a site where we can be, particularly maybe black women, we can, when we find new findings like this, be able to share them maybe on Instagram or maybe on social media posts, so that people can be able to benefit from this. And I think I think you have also insight that to be able to share them maybe globally and more robust. So that we'll be able to share them not just from the research group, but maybe we can be able to share them in a more bigger platform, and so that people can read and see what are the findings. Okay, so I am deeply grateful to the Center for Global Black Studies for believing in my work and for allowing my voice to be heard, for giving me this support, because I wouldn't have done this project without their support, because I would have just picked a data from a segment of Nigeria which would not represent the ethnic diversity of 250 ethnic diversity. So I think I am very, very grateful, because now I can be able to give a data and to produce a result that represent the ethnic diversity. And also I think this is going to shape, not everything is going to shape the outcome of our findings when genomic data is going to be included in the world of genomics, so that when we produce chemotherapies, targeted therapy, at least it will give a more representative of the word black women. And also I can't stop this without saying a very huge thank you to my mentor, who means everything to me, Professor Sophia George, because I'm in her world of oncogenomics, and then she has reshaped the way I see cancer differently, because everything is to improve the health, to save a life, to improve the health of women. So I'm very grateful for her to trust me, to believe that I can be able to come to her oncogenomic lab and be able to do this work together with her under her mentorship. And on a final note, I want to deeply express my gratitude to Donald Francis, who has encouraged me, to see women, not just to see women globally, to see the health of women. My family, who have been patient with me, who have loved me, who have trusted me, and who have sacrificed the loving time I have with them to come here and do my PhD under the mentorship of Sophia, because they know that once I go back, I'm going to mentor others, I'm going to give back to the society, I'm going to give back to the world of women, and whatever I do is for the benefit of not just me alone, or to the benefit of Katsina or Nigeria, but it's going to benefit the whole world, because when we leverage the availability of data from Nigeria, we'll be able to understand the biology also of this cancer, and also that applies to the whole global knowledge of this rare cancers, because before you get one single data, one single case in Miami, you have gotten 100 from Nigeria. So understanding the biology means leveraging the data you have where it's more available and more abundant. So it's not going to just affect a woman, the black woman, but also the global women and who will benefit from this. So thank you, Global Black Studies, for making this project possible for me.